Bandidos on DZRJ 810 AM.
Good morning, everyone, and you're tuned into the new Bandidos show. This is Pia Morato with my partner Javi Padilla and the students from the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's another week.
Yeah.
Okay, we have some new faces, so of course, say your names, please.
Yes, I'm Alisa Pingal.
Good morning, Alisa.
I'm Albert Rosales. Hindi na po ako bago.
Hindi ka bago. Okay.
Morning.
Good morning. Yes.
I'm Gemma Robles po.
Hindi
from
ka rin bago.
Hindi
And
rin
then,
bago.
of course, we have also
I'm Stephen Zainarek po from PUP.
Good
And also,
morning.
hindi rin ako bago.
hindi bago and
And I'm Roel from PUP and medyo bago.
and
And I'm Kent Ryan. Ay, nakakalimang beses na.
so okay, it's nice to have you guys here this morning. Of course, it's another Monday, another week to look forward
Yeah.
to with the stress and all. Diba? Yeah, everyone's nodding. Yeah, okay. We had a stressful week last week. Now, each on his and her own, okay? But last week seems to have been stressful for all of us. And I don't know, it's part of the new norm.
I agree.
I know, but we're here, and yeah, you guys are listening to us. And of course, one of the things that we try to do, because it's a youth program, is really to get the youth involved, the youth informed, and as their so-called radio teacher, I kind of test them behind the scenes, and now I'm gonna test them, diba, on air as well, right? But I'm really proud of them because they're passing the test. So let's begin with what's the latest, the hottest. Go.
Today is the start of filing of certificate of candidacies for all candidates in next year's elections. So we are expecting VP Binay said that he will file his candidacy at 8 a.m. with Senator Gringo Honasan to show that he is he wants to be the first in the elections because his political party is Una.
Who's una? Okay.
Yeah.
Parang may rumor yata over the
Yes, yes.
weekend. Ano yun about this whole gringo and bingo?
I
Yeah.
just saw an article, I think in Manila Bulletin over the weekend about oath-taking of some members in Una. Tapos hindi pumunta si Senator Gringo Honasan na dapat nandun siya since isa siya sa mga standard bearer ng Una. So parang nagkaroon ng rumors na undecisive pa si Senator Gringo Honasan kung tatakbo nga siyang vice president. Kasi kumbaga, wala naman siya sa survey. Kumbaga, hindi naman lumilitaw yung pangalan niya bilang matutunog na tatakbong sa vice president. Actually, mas mataas pa yung... actually, nasa survey pa si President Aquino kaysa kay Gringo Honasan in terms of sa mga tatakbo bilang vice president. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
So according to Inquirer, ito yung next year elections, over 18,000 positions are at stake. So napakahalaga talaga nung magiging kahinat na ng election. Then balik tayo kay Binay tsaka kay Honasan. Siguro nahirapan si Honasan kasi last minute na nung nalaman niya na siya yung pinipili na ng Una kasi di na pala parang tinuloy ni Bongbong Marcos yung offer ni VP Binay na maging running mate niya. So parang napakalaking burden yung pinapasa niya ngayon. So parang tinanggap niya na lang para sa Una.
Okay, how many VPs are we talking about in the first place, guys?
we have Marcos, we have Cayetano, we have Robredo, Trillanes, Escudero.
Okay.
Who else? No,
And
no, I already included.
Napakamot tuloy si Direk.
Since when did he run for
Sino pa? I
vice
think
president?
Five? We have five? Six?
Five? Okay.
5 or 6. I'm not sure yung 5 kasi yung mga iba like Ping Lacson was
How
still
about those that's
we
running
still need
without
for
a president?
confirmation.
Lacson
about
included na
Lacson?
siya sa senatorial slate ng Liberal
Oh,
Party
really?
according to
Yeah.
Rappler.
Okay. So sorry for that. So I think 5.
Okay.
Five.
How many of them are part of Una?
Green Uhunasan is only
Una.
una, tapos tatlong nationalista.
Independent.
Independent yung isa, I
Independent
think.
yung isa, I think Chis Escudero, right?
Escudero,
Bongbong Marcos.
Trillanes, Bongbong Marcos,
Uh-huh,
tas Cayetano.
Yeah.
Tas
So,
isang liberal, Robredo.
I think yung tatlo dun sa apat na nabanggit mo, Marcos, Escudero, Trillanes, and what do you call it?
Cayetano.
Yeah, I think
Tatlo dun
part
is-
sila ng nationalista.
Yes.
Yes, I think. So, yun. So, ang daming nationalista na
Speaking of
tumatakbo.
speaking of vice presidency, ayon to sa Filipino Star ngayon, nangunguna po sa survey, sa Pulse Asia survey si Senador Chis Escudero. So, nakakuha si Senator Chis Escudero ng 43% bilang most preferred candidate. Ito sa
That's big.
isinagawang survey sa Pulse Asia mula September 8 hanggang September 40. Tapos pumangalawa lang po si Senator Bongbong Marcos na nakakuha ng 19%. Sumunod si Senator Alan Cayetano na may 16%. Pang-apat si Senator Antonio Trillanes na may 9%. At panghuli ang pambato ng administrasyon ng Camarines na si Congressman Lenny Robredo na nakuha ng 7%.
Anong date ulit nung kinandak yung survey?
Kinandak yung survey noong September 8 hanggang 40.
Bago lang siya. So, ano yung mga
Before-
anong issues na between September 8 and 14?
Bago pa mag-file ng magproklama ng kandidatura sila Escudero, Robredo.
Yes, so parang hindi pa na ipoproklama, kumbaga.
Yan.
May rumors na mangunguna sila
So
dun sa...
abangan na lang natin after nyo. Tatas ngayong linggong to,
Oo,
filing
ngayong
na ng
linggo.
COCs.
Yes.
Tsaka bago yung yung twerk issue something.
Yeah.
Bago yung issue. So, iba pa din.
Okay, what's up next on the headlines?
Iba naman tayo bukod sa politics. I'll just saw it on television or even on internet about big lighthouses that's built by China on our own Spratlys Island. So, I think nag-usap na yung United States of America and China about the issue na hindi magtatayo ng kahit anong facilities ang China sa Spratlys or Scarborough Shoal hanggat wala pang napag-uusapan in international law. But kitang-kita naman talaga dito na kung paano sinusuway ng China yung mga usapan nila. Kung baga wala silang isang salita ngayon. United States na yung nakipag-usap sa kanila. So,
Pero it just got me thinking, why does the Philippines seems apathetic dun sa issue? Kasi until now, I cannot see any movement from the government na kahit na vina-violate na yung international law in terms of boundaries in Philippine, kumbaga yung territorial natin, parang walang bakit ganun na hindi sila gumagawa ng effort to fight? Siguro, are we scared of what China can do? Are we scared of their military forces? Are they too big for us? Or sadyang wala talaga tayong pakialam sa Spratlys? Kasi it has been an issue for years already na China has been claiming those two islands as their own. Di ba dapat karapatan natin ipaglaban yung dalawang islang yon?
Actually, ongoing pa rin yung arbitration case sa The Hague sa the Netherlands, Philippines versus China. Ang problema lang kasi sa China, wala silang pinadalang representative doon sa may The Hague sa arbitration case nila. So, we are expecting na before end of 2016 meron ng verdict yung mga judges doon. And ayon nga sa mga parang delegates natin doon, parang malakas naman yung case, yung inihain ng Philippines doon. Kasi naroon na yung mga ebidensya na inaangkin talaga illegal yung West Philippine Sea, yung mga doon na shoals, islands, yun. So, we are expecting na mananalo yung Philippines versus against China.
Go ahead.
and also to add up on what science says na tungkol dun sa ano bang action ng Pilipinas. Well, kita mo naman siguro yung military capacity natin,
capacity
kita mo
natin.
yung mga kagamitan nating pang militar. I mean, hindi natin kayang i-defend through military to military base yung ano natin. So that's why dinadaan natin to sa mga international law, sa mga arbitration cases,
Diplomatic.
and to think na talaga namang napapanood natin sa news na umaangal yung mga fishermen natin doon sa sa Scarborough Shoal, malapit sa karagatan sa West Philippine Sea. Nakapapanood ng gobyerno yun. Ay, ang problema, kahit yung mga nagbabantay doon,
Yeah.
actually may documentary
Coast Guard.
about doon, 'di ba, na yung gamit nila doon talagang kalawang, minsan lang sila padalhan ng pagkain, yung mga radyo nila, 'di ba, hinahabol pa sila ng mga Chinese vessels.
Parang baliktad.
To think na mga fishermen lang din yung humahabol sa kanila at sila military, kumbaga authority sila doon. So parang ano ba, hindi ba tayo dapat umaksyon sa mga ganito? Action tayo, paano? Anong klaseng action?
Baga, I think they don't want to make a move na ikadidelikado rin ng mga ng ibang Pilipino. And actually, parang grabe.
Hold that thought, Zion, okay?
Okay.
Really hold it, so you remember it. Okay, we have a call. This is former Muntinlupa Mayor Aldrin San Pedro. Come in. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Ma'am Bia.
Yes, good morning, sir. We just got the report, no, that you have this ongoing concern regarding a health card issues in Muntinlupa. Would you like to tell our listeners more about this?
Well, this is regarding the health card being used now by Muntinlupa City Government. Ito po yun dun sa public hospital ng Muntinlupa.
Mm-hmm.
Before, merong ginawang health card. Kasi ang problema nun sa mga pasyente sa ospital, pag nag-accumulate yung mga bills nila, umaabot minsan ng 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, walang pambayad. Pumupunta pa sila sa local government o sa city hall, lumalapit doon sa mayor's office. So ang problema, kung wala kang kakilala, minsan hindi ka na pagbibigyan. So nagpo-politicize masyado. Paano yung ordinaryong tao na walang connection? So what we did, sabi namin para may sistema, and then nagkakaroon din ng tamang appropriation. We issue this health card na in every resident of Muntinlupa sa isang pamilya, one health card, meron silang allocation na 25,000 pesos a year medical benefits. So pag na-consume na nila to, marireplenish to next year, the following year. So may sistema, meron ka ng health card, hindi ka na kinakailangan pumunta sa City Hall, papakita mo na lang yun doon sa hospital. Pero right now, na nawala yun, na-cancel yun, binalik doon sa food system, kung saan pumupunta ka doon sa City Hall. So, concern lang namin kasi pag ganoon, napupolitika. Pag yung isang tao walang connection sa City Hall, nahihirapan silang lumapit, humingi ng tulong.
Okay po. Well, thank you for giving us the information, sir, and hopefully we can help you disseminate it further.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Anything else, sir, that you would like to add? Especially since we have youth members here, maybe you would like to further educate them on the concern.
Siguro this goes with every local government unit na merong public hospital, para hindi mahirapan yung mga kababayan natin to formulate a system doon sa paglapit o hihingi ng tulong. Huwag naman nilang mahirapan, huwag nilang i-politicize na homo kala sa politika or kakampi, hindi pantay yung pagtingin. Dapat pantay-pantay sa pagbibigay ng serbisyo.
Okay, tama yan. Thank you so much, former Muntinlupa Mayor Aldrin San Pedro. Thank you so much, sir,
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
being the show. Okay, guys, what do you have to say about something like that?
Parang,
What if it was in your own locality, di ba? Are you still holding that thought, Zion?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Pero I want to share kasi I know kung gaano ka-importante kasi yung health card in regards with employment. Lalo na isa sa mga major requirements yung health card kasi hindi ka makakakuha ng kumbaga barangay yung parang clearance from the city hall kung wala kang health card. In here dito sa Quezon City, I don't know if sa Muntinlupa ganun din, pero kung hindi, para it would be a great inconvenience for the people kung if they won't, kumbaga madedelay or mahahaba yung panahon nila ng pag-employ just because hindi nila makompleto yung requirements.
Yeah, Ken.
Yung tanong ko lang kung ito bang health card, ito ba yung sa PhilHealth?
Oh, yun na nga eh.
Yeah.
That's the question also.
kung iba itong sinasabi ni Mr. San Pedro na taga sa Muntinlupa, itong health card, kung city-based lang ba or sa health card, ay pang PhilHealth. So, parang kung ganun, may locally based pa na health card, parang nagkaka-interfere. Parang saan kumukuha yung pondo, saan kumukuha yung local government ng pondo para doon, kung meron naman palang inalat para sa PhilHealth.
That's a very good question.
I think hindi yun PhilHealth sa Muntinlupa yun kasi MCC yung tawag nila doon, Muntinlupa Care Card. Yun.
Are you from Muntinlupa?
No, I'm from Taguig. Malapit lang po.
Oh, okay, okay.
Sa
But it's good you know, yeah.
Meron din po sa Laguna na yung provincial card na parang inisyu ni former Governor E.R. Ejercito. It's called Orange Card. So pwede mo yung i-present sa hospital if ever na may mga emergency cases. I think may loan, meron nakapasok doon na pera I can't remember the exact number. Pero ganun, may mga system sa ibang probinsya na bibigyan kanila ng card to para ma-afford mo yung mga gamot sa mga ospital. So, I think ganun yung sinasabi ni former Mayor San Pedro, yung mga city cards, not the PhilHealth one.
Yeah.
Tsaka sabi ni former Mayor San Pedro na parang napapasok ng politika yung about sa health card. Siguro itong health card na to parang isang initiative niya o isang initiative ng dating administration. Tapos siguro yung nanalo nung 2013 kalaban nila. Siguro parang discontinue yung health card
Project,
kaya ganun.
I think it's one of the project tapos dahil na hindi na nila natuloy yung proyekto. Pero I think it's important na ituloy nila yun kasi it's part na it's really important na at least mabawasan yung gastusin ng hospital.
Basic service yun.
Ganun ganun talaga yung mga problema sa politika ng Pilipinas. Nawawala ng continuity about the projects kapag kung dahil hindi nakapartido yung nanalo ulit. So,
Yes. Okay, we're gonna go for a break. Thank you.
ayaw namin mag-break.
Okay, nagulat naman ako doon. Okay, we're so engrossed in conversation. Pero
Yes.
before we go to break, I want to say I'm really proud of these kids. They're so up to date with the issues, very
Thank you.
intelligent. Especially on a Monday, nagising.
Monday.
We'll pause for a break. We'll be right back here in the New Bandidos show. Stay tuned. Good morning, everyone, and you're tuned into the New Bandidos show with me, Pia Morato, on behalf of my partner, Javi Padilla. We'll see you tomorrow, Javi. Okay,
Yeah,
we miss you,
tomorrow.
Kuya.
Kuya
Tito.
Javi.
Tito.
Kuya.
I'll call him Tito today. Yeah. Okay, so well, for the information of all our listeners, Javi and I always do our best to give homework to our youth members, and we're so happy to hear that they're doing their homework. And we usually assign these things on Twitter as well.
Yeah,
so
social media.
And then of course these students also take initiative to text and ask what they can research on. So they're really doing their parts. Katulad nga, some people are saying the youth, they're so amazing because they're so objective, so pure, and of course we really, since this is the next generation, we really want to empower them. Both Tito Javi, because he's
Tito
listening naman siya, si Tito Javi. Both Tito Javi and I. Okay? So guys, before the break, we're talking about, the whole dispute. And that's one homework we put also on Twitter. And just last week, we saw na they're like warships, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yun nga, pangitan-pangitan naman sa mga international news, lalo na sa CNN, BBC, yung mga news about oppression of Chinese fishing vessels kuno sa mga fishermen, maliliit na bangka ng mga Filipino fishermen sa West Philippine Sea. Ang tingin natin doon ay mga warships, pero ang sabi ng China, mga
just fishing vessels.
Fishing vessels. Come on guys, may missiles yung yung fishing vessels nyo. So I think kakaiba yun. Wala kayong makukuha sa kalangitan kung missiles ang aanuhin nyo.
I mean, compare sa fishing vessels ng Philippines, sa atin ata lambat at ano lang. ang
Yeah,
meron
oo,
tayo.
sa kanila may mesa, so kakaiba kahit...
Bata!
So,
Kasi ano eh,
okay, Masing.
Kasi kung bakit ganun yung vessels natin kasi dati parang nasanay yung mga fishermen natin na ay walang parang threat sa security,
Yes,
ganun,
oo,
parang
oo.
walang banta. Kaya ganun lang yung mga equipment nila. Tapos, yung pagpasok ng 2010s, ganun, 2012, 2013, parang nabigla na lahat ng mga fishermen, lalo na sa nangingisda sa West Philippines na yung China, yung mga Chinese fishermen, mangingisda na lang, may parang close in security pa ng mga Chinese Coast Guard, may mga
Yes,
missiles
oo.
pa. Parang inaangkin talaga nila yung resources doon. Parang yung kanina talaga.
Alam nyo, okay lang naman sana kung halimbawa magpaalam sila na mangingisda or what. Ang problema kasi, nagisda sila, ang mga kinukuha nila, coral reefs, yung mga at hindi proper yung pangunguha nila ng mga isda. Kung isda man yung kinukuha nila, kumukuha silang pawikan, gumagamit sila ng dinamita. So, I think, parang kakaiba na siguro kung missile yung gamitin nila sa pag-aano.
Actually,
Pero-
di lang kasi parang mga natural resources yung nandun sa West Philippine Sea. Kasi nandun yung sinasabi nila pinakamalaking oil deposit.
Yes, yes.
Yun.
Na still undiscovered.
And baka
right
next
now.
time, baka oil drill lang binibuild
Yeah.
nila, hindi lang light towers.
Kasi
Nako. Yeah.
Nako, it would be a great debate, I think.
Kaya nga kaya pinipilit ng China makuha yun because of oil. Kasi alam naman natin that kung sino man ang oil ang isa sa pinaka-importanting liquid sa buong mundo. Halimbawa, ang UAE, napakayaman ng UAE.
Yeah, because
All
of-
the Middle East country because of oil. United States are still searching for country that has oil. That's why they're also interested about
And I think in Asia,
Scarborough
siguro Spratlys is one of the richest oil deposit in Asia.
Yes, in Asia.
Pero hindi na ba naisip na bakit hindi gumagawa ng efforts yung government natin to develop yung oil industry or kumbaga yung oil natin?
Actually, nandun sa may Palawan yung Malampaya gas, parang gas drill natin. Yun yung sumusupply sa actually parang big chunk ng kuryente natin sa
Yeah,
Luzon. Tapos doon rin kumukuha yung mga ibang gasoline companies katulad ng Shell. Doon sila kumukuha ng oil.
Aside from importing on other
Yes.
countries, kumbaga meron din tayong deposit kaya
Kaya
lang
bumababa.
hindi ganun kasapat
Yes,
para
kasi isang lang yung platform lang yun.
So napakahalaga talaga nitong Scarborough Shoal and also the Spratlys Island sa ekonomiya ng Pilipinas.
Hindi na ba napansin for the past few months hindi nagkaroon ng increase, ng malaking increase yung oil, yung gas sa Philippines?
Parang kasing domino effect yan, 'di ba? Pag bumaba yung
Pag tumaas ang
Oo.
oil, tataas
Oo,
lahat ng
tataas
presyo.
lahat, hindi lang pamasahe. Kasi tataas ang presyo ng bilihin kasi ita-transport mo yung mga bilihin, tataas yung kuryente kasi gumagamit din naman ng oil and yung ibang means of getting electricity, tataas lahat. Ano pa ba mga tataas yan? Pandesal. Yes.
Actually, lahat.
It's true.
Kasi-
Everything is so connected, which I'm glad that you're able to do that. Totoo.
Kasi everything is related sa transportation eh. So once na tumaas ang cost ng transportation ng lahat ng bagay, it would really increase the price.
Kailangan talaga yung lalo na ngayon, election. Kailangan tatakbo ngayon, hindi lang basta matapang. Kumbaga meron siyang strategy
Yes.
kung paano may tame yung
Ay, matapang ba sinasabi mo?
oppression ng Chinese ng mga Chinese ng Chinese government. So hindi lang matapang, kailangan effective din at saka matalino sa mga pagdesisyon na ganyan.
Tsaka okay lang sana kung kunin nila kung ipaglaban nila yung hindi naman sa kunin, ipaglaban nila yung Spratlys, 'di ba? Pero dapat gawin nila sa patas na paraan.
Yes, oo.
Yung hindi yung katulad nung nangyari nung FIBA World Asia.
Ay, grabe.
Connect na naman, di ba? Oh.
I mean, may mga evidence tayo na pagmamayari natin yung Spratlys, 'di ba? We have documents from Hari ng Sabah, yung mga sultan na Pilipinas ang may-ari nun. Kumbaga,
Tsaka pasok sa PAR.
Oo, pasok sa PAR yung...
Oh, di ba meron, pero gagawin kong homework yan para sa inyo. Di ba meron tayo in the first week, pinag-usapan natin yung alam ko may court justice na who defends sa spot.
senior.
Sino ba yan? Hindi ko sasabihin sa inyo basta that's your homework.
Antonio Carpio.
Ayan, di ba? I think he's world-renowned, di ba?
Yes.
And he's the one who has been defending us on the Spratly. So, mga tanong ninyo, tama lang yon kasi, well, sino nga ba? Who's going to take charge? And then, in the next generation, problema nyo yun. Sorry, pero totoo naman,
It would
di ba?
be nice to have him here. Para,
Yeah,
maybe we could
wow,
call.
that would be
Really
yeah,
nice.
that would be really nice. You better do a lot of research,
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. Okay, in a few minutes we're gonna go live, of course, into FM.
And dimension.
Which we want to thank Cebu City.
Yes.
Okay, because thank you so
Hi.
much
Mayong
to my
buntag.
friends.
Daghang salamat, tama ba?
Tama. So I want to thank you.
Mayong buntag is good morning.
Thank you to our friends at Cebu City who were texting me over the weekend and saying that they have caught the Bandidos,
Yes.
on TV and I guess also on radio. So thank you so much
Thank
to
you.
everyone who has listened to us over there. Diba? So we're going to go live RJA FM in a few minutes.
Yeah.
In a few minutes so stay tuned. Okay guys, so next hot topics. Considering you mentioned Kent about the Malampaya.
Yes.
Okay, in the newspaper kasi we're reading. The human rights lawyer Harry Roque hopes President Pinoy won't suffer the fate of former President GMA because he laments that the legal processes have been skewed under the Daang Matuwid, citing the report of the UN Working Group on Arbitrary Detention. You're aware of this, right?
Yes,
so just a
yes.
little, just in brief, what is the issue ba with the UN right now?
UN Technical Working Group said that parang na-violate daw yung rights ni
GMA.
former president na Congressman
Yeah.
Gloria Macapagal Arroyo dahil parang kung tatandaan natin noong 2011 gusto niya magpagamot sa ibang bansa pero hinarang ni
Hindi siya
Justice Secretary Leila de Lima.
Yes.
So ito sa UN actually parang representative yata ni GMA yung asawa ni George Clooney, si Amal Clooney.
Yes.
Tas yun nga parang actually sabi daw nila opinion lang daw to pero hindi pa daw to parang decision. Tsaka sabi naman daw po ng Malacanang parang di naman daw po ito makakaapekto sa current hearing sa Sandigan Bayan sa kaso po niya. Kasi po parang wala naman daw pong jurisdiction yung UN sa kaso niya.
I mean, eto lang, magsasite lang ako ng isang example na pareho ng case ni CGMA. Senator Juan Ponce Enrile was also must be detained. But dahil sa edad niya at dahil sa sakit niya, napalaya siya. So, what makes it different to CGMA? I mean, may edad na rin si CGMA, may sakit. I mean, mas malala ang sakit ni CGMA. Di ba? Parang sinabi na ng doktor na bigyan nyo na kung ano mga gusto ni CGMA because sad to say, parang parang
May
Hindi,
tani.
medyo
Ganun.
malala na yung
medyo malala na yung ano niya. Kumbaga, hindi niya siya treatable. So, what makes it different to the case of CGMA compared to Juan Ponce Enrile? So,
I think that's why GMA wanted to na magpagamot sa ibang bansa kasi I think she knew na hindi kaya ng medical teams pa ng Philippines yung i-treat yung lagay na kasi 'di ba we lack facilities kumbaga yung mga latest facilities to cure yung ganung sakit and I think kaya na gusto magpagamot sa ibang bansa and I think for Leila de Lima to prohibit her from going through to ibang bansa. I think it's a violation of human rights nga talaga.
I think kung intindihan natin yung kaso nila si GMA tsaka ni Juan Ponce Enrile, di rin naman nalala yung mga parang regular na prisoners,
Yes.
detainees na matatanda rin tapos may sakit. So kung gano'n naman pala yung decision ng korte, why not parang gano'n rin yung gawin natin sa mga matatanda ng mga prisoners, may mga sakit. Kasi parang parang kung sila Juan Ponce, Enrile, tsaka si GMA, parang nakakaranas sila ng special treatment. Si Enrile nga nakalabas na dahil doon sa excuse na yon. So pwede palang magamit ng mga old detainees yung excuse na yun para lang mapalaya sila.
To think na yung iba, iniimbestigahan pa lang at
Yes.
nakakulong na. So, ito yung problema sa justice sa Pilipinas, justice system sa Pilipinas eh. Akusado ka pa lang, may sala ka man o wala, nakakulong ka. At sa bagal ng justice system sa Pilipinas, umaabot ng 6 years or more than 10 years, namatay na yung inaakasuhan mo.
parang
Hindi mo pa na ano.
Para nag-start na imprisonment.
Oo, di ba? Parang not guilty pala siya. 11 years niyo siyang kinulong. So, dahil lang sa investigation na sobrang bago. So, I think dapat mabago yun.
Pero,
Yung mga ganong klase.
pero that's really true kasi isipin mo, maraming prisoners ngayon, nandun sila sinasabi nila na wala po, inosente po ako.
Yes,
Pero nakakulong na sila dun for how many years? I've seen a lot of documentaries regarding prisoners na sinasabi nila wala naman talaga sila nagawa, pero nakakulong sila.
Tsaka, come on guys, I know we hate CGMA former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo a lot before, but come on, she's also human. Nagkakasakit din po siya. She's also has the right. Kumbaga, what makes her different from us? Gumagawa din naman tayo ng mali. Gumagawa din tayong kasalanan. Ang problema lang yung kanya na televise. 'Di ba? Kumbaga yung kanya na imbestiga, kumbaga yung kanya na discover. At ngayon nagkasakit siya, bakit hindi natin siya payagang magpagamot para at least masagot niya yung mga ganong klaseng mga issue na binabato sa kanya. Kasi for now, i-stressin mo si CGMA na sagutin yung mga ganong issues, di lalong hindi niya nasagot yun kung papatayin mo siya sa stress at sa sakit niya. So, I think that's on my opinion.
And considering na, human rights lawyer Harry Roque says na hopefully, quote-unquote, no, this is citing from the Philippine Star, na hopefully, President Aquino's rights will be respected when it is his turn to be prosecuted for the DAP and Malampaya scam.
At ano na nga, parang lahat ng presidente natin ganito yung sinasapit. Pagkatapos nilang ng 6 years, may iimbestiga agad sa kanila. Diba? Come on, guys.
Pagsapit ng Pasko, pagsapit ng
Nakaabang na yung
presidente.
nakaabang na yung charges sa
Yan.
Naghihintay, 6 years kang naglingkod sa bayan, nang warakot ka man o hindi, mayroon pa ding i-file at i-file sa mga
After your
kaso.
term, ang dami na nakaabang na
Oo,
charges
diba,
sa'yo.
ito ba ang consequence ng pagiging president?
Kasi abang president ka, immune ka sa lahat ng mga cases. Kaya talagang after your term, yun talaga,
Kaya
magsisilabasan
yun ang
na.
hinihintay nila after his
Daming sabik
immunity
na
is
anong
expired, diba?
kasuhan ka.
Yes.
But
Wow,
I think-
Alisa, go. Game. I
But I
like.
think, hindi naman kasi masama na kunyari tayo, mag-investigate tayo sa kanila kasi kung wala naman talaga silang ginawa, di ba? They could answer naman ng hindi nagsisinungaling. Yun.
Okay.
At sa tingin ko din na yung immunity na sinasabi tungkol sa sa president na bawal silang kaso. I mean, merong mga impeachment cases. Bakit hindi sila mag-file doon kung talagang nakikita nila na mali yung ginagawa ng kasalukuyang gobyerno, especially the president. May rights pa din naman tayo na malaman yun, 'di ba? We have impeachment. Ilan bang presidente na yung na-impeach yung na kasuhan ng impeachment? Example diyan si President Ejercito Estrada, CGMA former president also has some impeachment cases, kaya lang hindi
Pinapatay agad sa Congress.
Pinapatay agad sa Congress. Alam niyo na kung bakit. So,
Katulad rin kay President Aquino last year lang. Tungkol naman sa DAP ganun, sa EDCA, pinatay rin agad sa Congress.
It's really odd na hindi siya makita in newspapers.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
for some cases like Bina, he kept on appearing in Inquirer in different newspapers because dun sa cases of corruption na fina-file against sa kanya. And it's really odd to see na there are some people, some politicians na hindi na televise or hindi na inform yung public regarding his issue.
That's some of the disadvantage of watching only TV, yung mga informations mo nakukuha mo lang sa television. I mean, like what lagi kong sinasabi, yung mga news sa television, filterized na yan, ba? Kung alin lang yung matunog, yun lang yung sinasabi. Pero yung mga less relevant, gaya ng mga achievements ng mga ibang senador na hindi naman ganun kalaki, 'Di ba? Parang we're on the current issues only. Kung ano lang yung sikat, kung ano lang yung matunog na balita, yun lang yung ibabalita.
Yun lang yung tututukan.
Oo, yun lang yung tututukan kasi ano bang hype ng ibang projects na hindi naman ganun kalaki kumpara sa mga controversies ng ibang 'di ba? Parang it's all about parang mas importante talaga pa rin talaga na may mga research tayo about sa issues. Hindi lang tayo basta nanonood sa TV or nakikinig sa mga komentaryo ng mga kung sino-sino.
Tsaka yung mga balita na yan, meron sa alam naman natin bilang mga mass comm students, no, na yung ibang mga balita is nakukuha lang talaga sa dyaryo. At ang ginagawa lamang po nire-rehash. So iniiba lang po, nire-rephrase lang po. Tapos ayun, so kailangan talaga natin bilang mga kabataan at bilang estudyante, kailangan nating mag-research, kailangan nating malaman kung ano ba talaga yung balita sa likod ng telebisyon o sa likod ng mga pahina ng dyaryo.
Saan nyo kukunin yung balita na? Sige, go ahead.
Tsaka hindi yung opinion lang ng media yung tututukan mo, hindi ka mag-research or magko-conduct ng opinion mo.
Tama.
And I think that's why the freedom of information bill is really important. No?
Yan.
Kaya sa tingin din, I mean, it's for us to be able to make research or analysis in some cases in regards lalo na sa government. Kasi 'di ba, yung mga transactions nila, yung bawat meetings and debates nila, kumbaga confidential in the line na educated people lang yung makakaintindi. Kumbaga hindi sila lang yung makakaintindi na ganito pala, nagkamali pala sila or parang nagkaroon ng compromises. Kaya I think it's nice to na mai-transcribe yung mga ganun into common knowledge na maintindihan ng bawat Pilipino.
Ayun, in fairness to FOI, yung gaya ni sabi ni Zion, sinabi ko kanina na research. But also, kailangan yung mga research source, yung mga sources natin, kailangan accessible at kailangan naiintindihan. So, gaya na sabi ni Zion about yung mga technicalities, yung mga law, technicalities na ang haba-haba ng mga sinasabi, kailangan mai-capsulize yon into yung pangmasang salita, yung maiintindihan ng lahat, hindi lang yung mga matatalino, hindi lang yung mga nag-aral na tao. Kumbaga, kahit yung mga tambay sa labas, pag pinabasa mo tong information na to, maiintindihan nila.
Correct.
So, yan.
Tama. Agreed. We have field reporter Jojo Sikat on the line. Come in, Jojo. Good morning.
This is RJAM Field Reports.
Okay, the Vice President Jomar Binay will file his certificate of candidacy today in Comelec, Intramuros, Manila for presidency on 2016 election at around 8 a.m. today. Before the filing of candidacy, Vice President Binay joined this morning on the Budal Fight at Barangay 655, Zone 69, 458 Magallanes Street in Intramuros. Vice President Binay will file his candidacy along with his supporters and some members and officials of the United Nationalist Alliance or UNA. United Nationalist Alliance President and Navotas City Representative Toby Charco told that Binay will be accompanied by his running mate. However, there is no still confirmation from the United Nationalist Alliance and the camp of Senator Gregorio Gringo Honasan if he is prepared as a vice presidential candidate and accepted the UNA's offer. The camp of former Interior Secretary Marojas, meanwhile the Liberal Party standard bearer, said that he and running mate Camarines Sur Representative Lenny Robredo will file their certificate of candidacies together, so the date remains not yet revealed in the media. On last Friday night, Davao City Mayor Rodrigo Duterte said that he may file his certificate of candidacy at Comelec on October 15. However, the mayor has also yet to confirm if he's running for president. On October 14, the camp of Senator Grace Poe said that they will file their COCs or her COCs for president with the running mate Vice Presidential aspirant Senator Francis Jesus Escudero and some the members of her senatorial list in 2016 election. This is Jojo Sikat reporting at DCRJ 10 a.m., the Voice of the Philippines.
Thank you very much, Jojo. That was our field reporter, Jojo Sikat, for DZRJ 8:10 a.m., the voice of the Philippines. Mainit, mainit
Yeah.
na talaga.
Circus na naman sa Comelec.
Oo, kasi na nga. Sinabi nga in front page, huwag gawing circus di ba? Sa loob naman.
Parang laging piyesta kapag filing of COCs, 'di ba? May mga banda pa minsan
Yeah.
yung ibang mga parang
Grand entrance pa sila.
Actually,
Naging-
sa loob ng Comelec, pag mag-file yung mga candidates, may red carpet pa dun eh.
Oo, parang bakit?
Grabe.
Kailangan ba ng red carpet? Ito yung isa sa mga issues ko nung napanood ko to sa TV, yung about dun sa hinahanda yung red carpet. Come on. ano sila? Public servant sila, hindi sila mga celebrities. Hindi dapat sila binibigyan ng ganong klaseng treatment.
Meron nga yung after mag-file ng candidacy, magpapakain sila dun sa mga lugar nila.
Kakaiba talaga yung mga, yung mga
Masarap ba yung
gimmicks.
pinapakain sa kanila?
Lugaw lang pala.
Natawa tuloy si Direk. Masarap ba? Punta ako pag masarap.
But it's nice to have a confirmation of the candidacies already na they're gonna file their cases at certain dates. And especially, ako kasi inabangan ko talaga to si Duterte. Actually, mampiyaso.
Matunog talaga
my
si
face.
Duterte sa kabataan.
Yeah.
Yun ang nahahalata ko talaga. Matunog na matunog.
And also, it's, ako, in relation to Jemel and what he said, Francis Escudero had really big numbers. Almost
Yeah.
half of the Philippine population or dun sa survey population,
43%.
yun nakuha niya. Actually, I think maraming voters yung minamatahan si Sir Cheese kasi he's been around in the service for quite a long time already. And kahit ako, siya rin yung minamatahan ko.
So parang lumalabas na tinitingnan ng tao experience.
Yes. Tsaka yung linis nung track record mo. I mean, kailan ba natin napanood si Senator Francis Escudero sa mga issues? I think huli ko siyang napanood na issue yung kinasal siya kay Lavi po. Ay, kay Lavi. Sorry. Kasi pareho silang heart as love. So, nawawala ako doon. So, Heart Evangelista. Yung tungkol sa mother and father ni Heart Evangelista na... I'm sorry guys, wala akong sa showbiz eh. So,
90
yun.
gusto.
Yun yung, I think, huling issue na kasi except dun sa mga issues na pinaglalaban niya, yun lang yung huli kong issues na napanood sa kanya.
Tsaka pasulyap-sulyap lang naman siya sa media.
Kumbaga siya isa siya sa mga low profile na senator, pero pag tinignan mo yung track record, parang ang dami nang nagawa.
Ito balita sa atin ni sige na nga, Kuya Javi. Sabi ni Kuya
Hello, Kuya
Javi,
Javi.
confirmed, hindi naman, sa Twitter, no, na si Gringo nasa Intramuros na daw. So,
Actually,
bingo na.
Yes,
Bingo.
Actually, may bago ngayon sa yung pag-file ng Certificate of Candidacy. Ayun daw sa Comelec, aside from may pipirmahan sila na COC, pipirma rin sila sa isang integrity pledge. Kung saan parang dito nangangako yung mga kakandidato na titiyakan nila na magiging maayos, katanggap-tanggap daw, tahimik at payapa daw yung magiging election next year. So, parang malaking bagay rin tong integrity pledge ng COMELEC. Tsaka aside from this, parang may gagawin silang presidential and vice presidential debates next year. Parang doon talaga malalaman ng taong bayan kung sino talaga yung qualified at siguradong ililid tayo sa next 6 years.
And sana magkaroon ulit ng orientation regarding campaign rules and regulations para hindi tayo magmukhang
Actually, hindi kasi minsan yung mga candidates di nila nahawakan masyado ng maayos yung mga
sabagay, di
tao
sila-
nila, ganun, volunteers, kaya ganun.
Okay, in a few seconds, we're going to go live simulcast with RJ 100.3 FM.
RJFM and the Philippine Star now bring you a snippet simulcast over DZRJ, Rosas Morato, and Javi Padilla.
Good morning, everyone over there, and good morning, Archie Crane, and everyone who's listening to RJ 100.3 and coming into our hood here over 8:10 a.m. in the new Bandidos show with our new Bandidos.
Yeah.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. So, on the Philippine Star today, make it festive, but please avoid a circus. A touch of sobriety would go a long way as the week-long filing of certificates of candidacy or COCs for the 2016 elections gets underway today, according to the Commission on Elections or COMELEC. The COMELEC on Sunday made one last appeal for candidates filing their COCs to make the occasion dignified and solemn and rein in the usual extravagant display of public support. Next in the Philippine Star News, Malacanang on Sunday said the Aquino administration is doing its best to improve the country's healthcare system, which it hopes will translate into better services and remove the Philippines' derogatory tag as one of the worst places to die in the world. According to the 2015 Quality of Death Study Index, the Philippines lacks government-led strategy for the development and promotion of national palliative care services, making Manila as a worst place to die next to war-torn Iraq and Bangladesh. Deputy Presidential Spokesperson Abigail Valdez said, although the government has programs for palliative care, its major thrust is having universal health care. Next in the Philippine Star News, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or the AFP, will buy 6 close air support aircraft worth 4.9 billion as part of its continuing modernization program. The Department of National Defense, or DND, is set to hold today the bid opening for the acquisition of the close air support aircraft designed to provide air support to infantry and naval units engaging with the enemy. Again on Philippine Star News, there was no cover-up in the fact-finding probe of the Department of Justice, or DOJ, in the case of 9 of the 44 Police Special Action Force SAF commandos slain in the Mama Sapano clash last January. Justice Secretary Laila de Lima said this on Sunday in response to criticisms on the second part of the Mama Sapano investigation report released last week, where no charges were filed. In contrast was the case of the 35 SAF men, where 90 members of the Moro Islamic Liberation Front, or MILF, the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters, or BIFF, and private armed groups were charged with direct assault with murder. De Lima said the insinuation made by critics, including former SAF Director Getulio Nepañez, that there would be a whitewash in the probe was very unfair and unfounded. So that was news from the Philippine Star. Over here in our hood with students from the Polytechnic University and the new Bandidos show here on 8:10 a.m. RJ, back to you, Archie Crane.
DZRJ 8:10 a.m. The voice of the Philippines and the Philippine Star have just brought you the new Bandidos, a forum for the youth program, giving a chance for the youth to get involved in the political arena. With hosts Miss Pia Rosas Morato and Javi Badilla.
Hi, this is Miguel Belmonte, the president of the Philippine Star. DZRJ and the Philippine Star are enhancing its media partnership to continue serving the community and bringing real-time news all the time in a fair and balanced manner. I wish DZRJ more successful years to come. Keep your dial tuned to 8:10 a.m. and of course, read the Philippine Star.
Now, back to the greatest and the latest hit tunes only on RJFM.
Okay, guys, we're back here on the new
Morning.
Bandidos. Good morning.
Morning.
We're the new Bandidos here on DZRJ 8:10 a.m. The voice of the Philippines, and wow. It's becoming very hot over there in
really
Intramuros, no?
May sunog.
May sunog ba?
May bonfire na.
Ano ba yan? Well, I hope, just like, we've been advised, the people have been advised, and it's been in the front pages, that I hope, although we should make it festive, it won't turn out into a circus. I think that at this point, 21st century, we should know better already as a people, no? And you guys, it's your turn to educate.
Siguro naman hindi naman kailangan na maging festive tsaka napakagulo ng mga kakandidato at maghahain ngayon ng COC kasi di naman diyan makikita kung gaano kakalakas, ka-popular, tapos di rin naman diyan makikita kung gaano ka-sincere eh. Siguro kahit sa pag-file man lang ng COC, makita naman lang ng tao na seryoso tsaka sincere ka sa ginagawa mo.
I mean, what if let's call upon them na what if you remove all the festivities, all the banners, all the all the posters of your, kumbaga, you as a candidate, then let's just let the people decide. Kasi what if kung tanggalin mo yung publicity, tanggalin mo lahat ng commercials, tanggalin mo lahat ng campaign materials mo, who are you as a president, who are you as a candidate? Kasi that is what our country needs, not your posters or not whatever you're using to campaign.
And as we heard in the news, the country also needs much better healthcare programs.
Kanina lang.
Diba? Goodness
Grabe,
gracious.
to belong in the top, kumbaga, worst countries to die.
Actually, we are the worst country.
Diba? I mean, next to war-torn Iraq, and Bangladesh.
Kalinya natin, puro mga, war zone. Puro war zone yung mga kalinya natin. So, ano bang problema ng Pilipinas? Lahat na lang tayo worst. Di ba? Kailan ba tayo magiging the best sa lahat ng bagay? Di ba? Kahit mamatay, worst tayo.
Actually,
lahat ng bansa may namamatay, pero tayo yung may miserable. Isa sa may mga pinaka-miserableng way ng pagkamatay. Kumbaga,
actually, I myself and my family have experienced it ourselves. Kasi, yung Ma'am Pia, my mother was diagnosed with cancer, stage 2. And that was, bata pa ako noon. And for over the years, it evolved. And nung naghahanap kami for, treatments, very limited and very pricey.
Yes.
Kumbaga, I think one of the reasons kasi people are not getting enough assistance from the government in regards with health and treatment, lalo na cancer, HIV, tuberculosis. We don't have enough facilities, we don't have enough health benefits to cover up. Kaya yung iba, they just settle at their homes.
Nakakatawa isipin na diba? Isa tayo sa mga pinakamadaming pinagkukunan ng mga medical practitioners, doctors, nurse.
Okay, hold that thought.
Okay.
And we hold that thought, Albert. Remind me, get back to me. Natatawa yung
I'm still holding on the China thing.
We have to get back to them, but we have Chair Chito Gascon on the line from the Commission on Human Rights. Chair Chito, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Pia and the new Bandidos here at DZRJ. I hope our line is clear this time than last time you called.
Much clearer, sir. It's nice to have you on a Monday morning. We wanted to ask you, sir, about the budget. We understand that you're asking for additional budget for next year to really boost up further the Commission on Human Rights.
Yes, last Friday we were at the Senate. The Commission on Human Rights defended its budget. In the course of the conversation with the senators, we did express a need for additional budget to address the emerging human rights challenges, and we're hoping that the Senate might take that into account when they deliberate our budget.
Mm-hmm. Is it correct, sir, that Senator Sani Angara heard that the building that you are in is condemned?
It was previously condemned, that's right. This building is an old building. It had been occupied by the Commission on Audit, but in the 1990 earthquake, it was damaged, and the COA vacated it, and it had been unoccupied for 7 years. And that's when the Commission on Human Rights, looking for a new home, requested that we use it, and then COA allowed us to use it if we had spent some money to retrofit it. And so we did retrofit it, but it is still a former condemned building.
Chair Chito, one of the things we've read and upon our research is that the additional budget, you want to also be able to use this because some of the witnesses under a witness protection program are sheltered by you. Is that correct?
So the Constitution and law also allows the Commission on Human Rights to provide a witness protection program. We do have, since the adoption of the Constitution, a more robust witness protection program administered by the Department of Justice. But some witnesses prefer to be covered under the witness protection of the CHR, because some of our witnesses are witnesses that have evidence against government officials, and they are, let's say, more confident if they would be covered under the Witness Protection of the Commission on Human Rights under those circumstances.
And you have to date 8 witnesses under your care. Is that correct, sir?
That's right. We have more or less 8 witnesses. There have been an increase in numbers of requests for additional coverage. It's just that we don't have the facilities nor the money to address that need. That's why we mentioned to the Senate that maybe one area that will need augmentation is our witness protection. We don't have, for example, a safe house, and we are requesting the DOJ if they might be able to allow a dedicated safe house for CHR witnesses. But at this point in time, we don't have that.
Okay, sir. Question from our youth. Go ahead, Zion.
Sir, where are the increases in violation po in regards in Lumad killing, and not just in Lumad killing but Mindanao? Is it true, sir,
Well,
na
you know,
there are...
in Mindanao, it's a conflict zone. You know, you have different rebel groups and paramilitary groups being formed in response to those rebel groups. And so when you have loose firearms that are in the hands of unauthorized persons, the potential or risk for violations increases. So that's how we should understand what's happening now in Mindanao, in particular in the Lumad communities. And there has been a sharp increase in killing over the last, not just the last few days, but if you track them over several years, there's a significant number of deaths involving our Lumad brethren. And so we are making a call for the government to review its policy on CAFGOs and also to disband the paramilitary groups, because this, of course, increases the risk and potential for gross or grave human rights violations like extrajudicial killings and the like.
Yes, go ahead, Kent.
Good morning, Commissioner Gascon. Nabasa ko lang po, during ng budget deliberations nyo po sa House, nagpropose rin po kayo ng increase sa intelligence fund worth 5 million pesos. Sir, saan po ba kadalasan ginagamit ng CHR ito pong intelligence fund?
Well, binago na yung policy, no? Yung intelligence fund ay nakalaan para sa security forces, yung mga naghahawak ng armas at law enforcement. Ang civilian agencies na may hawak ng intelligence fund, ang tawag na po ngayon dyan ay confidential funds. At na-report lang po namin sa kanila, sa Senado po, nung nakaraang linggo, na ang confidential funds ng kabuuan ng Commission on Human Rights ay 1 million pesos lang a year. Para sa trabaho na ginagampanan niya, yung pagtanggol sa karapatang pagtao, medyo grossly inadequate po ito dahil ang confidential funds, ginagamit po ito para sa quick reaction. Kasi otherwise, lahat ng pondo mo nakalaan sa tinatawag na line item or program. Ang confidential fund na nagbibigay flexibility sa isang ahensya para matugunan yung mga unexpected or unanticipated events. At sa larangan po ng human rights, kailangan po ng konting flexibility dito. Kaya kami humingi na kung maaari ay mula 1 million, gawing 5 million po yung para sa confidential funds ng CHR.
Okay.
Sir Chito, sir, since we're talking about the witness protection program, I just wanna know your thoughts about some suggestions on how we really going to protect those witnesses. I saw an article about changing the facial descriptions, or I mean the identity of the witness. Sir, what are your thoughts about these suggestions?
Well, if you are implying plastic surgery, wala pa po kami sa CHR sa ganung level ng
Yes.
pagpalit ng identity ng ating mga witnesses. No? Ang mga witnesses, una, we take them out of harm's way. They normally have witnessed terrible things and are at risk. And they and their families are at risk. And so the first order of business is to remove them from the area at risk. And so that costs a lot of money because you're basically dislocating them from their normal lives, and you're trying to provide them with an opportunity for a new life. Transportation, housing, allowances, etc. That's the coverage. Now, in some instances, depending on the cases, yes, new identities are also contemplated. Meaning to say, there will have to be a program after they've given testimony to relocate them permanently somewhere else, and perhaps even take on a new lifestyle, new identities. Pero right now, ang aming witnesses po, are still, their cases are still pending, and they have not presented their evidence yet, and as a result, they're still within our jurisdiction.
Chair Chito, the last time we called you and it was kind of choppy, was on incidents on mining where children were involved and they were unfortunately lost their lives. How now do we, as part of media and of course as the youth, be able to participate in such incidences where we as people, members of society, can report to your commission on such cases?
Well, it's important to be aware that there are strict standards about child labor. While the general rule is children should be excluded from all work. That's the general rule. In some cases, children are allowed to work, but under strict regulations. And always, it should never involve high-risk activities. And mining, and getting children involved in mining is definitely abhorred by our legal system and in international law. So if any child is exposed to vulnerable conditions such as high-risk employment, that is immediately a matter for protection. And we have mechanisms in the state to protect our children. And kaya po tayo may mga bantay bata hotline, dapat ipaabot yun. At kami sa CHR, pag nabibigyan din kami ng impormasyon na yon, ang aming role po ay tagamasid at tagakulit. Kami rin po ay magpapaalala sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno. Department of Labor, Department of Social Welfare, Department of Health, para sa gayon protektahan ng mga bata sa mga ganitong klaseng mga activities.
Thank you so much, Chair Chito, for being with us in the New Bandidos here in our show today. We hope you have a good week.
Have a good week rin to, Pia, and mabuhay po kayo sa New Bandidos.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was Commissioner for Human Rights, Chair Chito, as they call him, Chito Gascon. Thank you so much. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back here in the New Bandidos show. Stay tuned.